Hi, my name is Mary, the godmother behind the Goodie Godmother recipe blog, and today I am here to show you how to easily cover a cake with sprinkles. So I will be working with my rainbow layer cake, which I make using my yellow cake recipe on the blog, and some food gel coloring. Please visit the blog to see the full tutorial post for the rainbow cake, where I'll tell you all the materials that I use to make this cake, but it's easier to show you how I cover the cake in sprinkles with a video. So let's get started. So an important thing to keep in mind when you are covering a cake in sprinkles is that you actually do want a rather smooth frosting base to work with. You want to make sure the sides are even, and you'd like to make sure that there are no large bumps or frosting cowlicks sticking out, because your sprinkles will stick to that and they will highlight the irregularities. So make sure that you have a pretty good smooth frosting. If you're working with a crusting buttercream, you will need to work quickly. For these kind of cakes, I really prefer a Swiss meringue buttercream because it does not crust, so it provides me a nice sticky surface for the sprinkles. A recipe for Swiss meringue buttercream is on the blog. So for this cake, I use nonpareils, which I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation, but they're the little round sprinkles. You're going to need about 3 cups. So if you're purchasing these at a cake supply store, go ahead and get the big 1-pound bag. If you are purchasing these at any grocery store or craft decorating store, you're going to need probably about 5 of the little bitty bottles. So there are a couple different methods out there. One of the most common being to fill a tray, like this baking tray, with sprinkles and then rolling your cake. That has never worked for me at all. In fact, it's resulted in some disastrous looking cakes. So I don't do my sprinkle cakes that way. I go ahead and I set a cooling rack into a baking sheet, like a jelly roll pan, to try and contain any rogue sprinkles. These can be like glitter. If you don't set your baking sheet, your cooling rack in a rimmed sheet, you will end up finding sprinkles in the strangest places in your kitchen. So spare yourself the mess. Use a rimmed baking sheet. So I take the sprinkles I'm going to use, put them in a bowl, and then with clean hands I go ahead and I grab a good handful of sprinkles and just kind of run it up the side of the cake. My hand is not actually touching the side of the cake. It's actually just off the surface of the cake. I don't want to mess up my beautiful frosting, and I'm letting the sprinkles sort of just run through my hands. So again, up the side of the cake. You can hear them getting everywhere, but I actually have a good bit still in the tray, so we're good. And then you just repeat this all the way around and you end up with a really nice smooth cover. If you'd like to cover the top, you just go ahead and spread the sprinkles over the top. I personally do not cover the tops of my sprinkle cakes because I like to use a star tip to add a little star covering. So this is the easiest way that I have found to get a really solid sprinkle covering on a cake. It's not necessarily the neatest way because you are lifting up the gravity's kind of working against you here, but you will not end up with any funny bumps. You won't accidentally like drop your cake and flatten the side, and it looks really pretty. So I think it's worth it. Everyone owns a broom or a vacuum cleaner. This is a great time to use it. And I mean, look at that. This is perfect. There are no holes in the sprinkle cake. And it's a really great technique to use if you're making a smash cake for kids. They always turn out really pretty, or these were always really popular for like circus birthday parties, rainbow birthday parties, really just anytime, St. Patrick's Day. They're a lot of fun. I like them. This particular cake is actually going to a silent auction for Icing Smiles, which is a really great Baltimore, Maryland-based charity that's expanding nationwide and brings cakes to it. It matches up families who have children battling serious diseases with local bakers, and the bakers create these beautiful cakes for the kids at no charge to the family. So it's a nice way to make a difference, and I'm really excited to be a part of this event. And so I thought a bright, colorful cake would be the best thing that I could donate to the auction. So I'm really excited about that. And then just make sure that your cake board is clean, because this sticks to everything. So you don't want any bits of frosting, but as you see, it's really easy and it's a nice, quick way to decorate the cake. If a little messy. Use a bigger tray if you have one. You should probably get a bigger tray. So now I check for any gaps in my frosting, in my sprinkles. If you are covering the top of the cake, you basically just pour your sprinkles on top and you're good. Like I said, I don't. So I'm going to go ahead, and here's my beautiful cake. Nice, smooth, consistent covering, which is really important. And like I said, with the other method, the rolling method, it's very difficult to get that consistent cover without using 2 to 3 times the sprinkles that we use here. So this is definitely my preferred method. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and add the finishing touches with my frosting, and then my cake is ready to go. Thank you so much. Please visit the blog for the rest of the notes on this tutorial, including a materials list. And I will see you next time. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future updates and decorating tutorials. Thank you.